Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, I thought today we talk a little bit about the difference between what I call martial Qigong and health Qigong. Qigong just means breath work or energy work, anything that you're doing with breath or posture or studying your body to increase the circulation of energy in your body, however you define that, to feel more alive and more vital, more alive, more ready to tackle the next thing that comes along. That's all in a big umbrella of Qigong. Within Qigong, there's a more martial type Qigong, which is exercises, at least as I define it, that have some kind of physical purpose. It isn't necessarily fighting, although it's sometimes you are training attributes that would help you in a fight. But like, for instance, if you're say working on a motion like this, coordinating a motion like this with breath and alignment and the kinetic chain, etc., that's a more martial Qigong type move. Even if you're just doing a movement like this, just sitting and turning without twisting that knee, just working on sinking and turning, or a simple kind of physical movement like this. There is a coiling in this leg, there is a sinking further into it. There's physical function to the movement. You're taking weight into your body. Health Qigong tends to focus more on a pure health Qigong that eschews and is not interested in martial or physical function. It's more focused on the Chinese medicine and the theoretical meridians and energy flow in the body. It might focus on healing sounds or vibrations, or kind of visualizations, like imagining a ball of energy or moving things, or imagining things going through energy, traveling through meridians and stuff like that. What I've noticed when I've seen people do this kind of Qigong, the health Qigong, and I've seen a decent amount of it on video and in person, is often it doesn't look that healthy to me. And most specifically, usually alignment and posture are underemphasized or not emphasized. It's just a visualization, and the person will be out here and their neck's forward and their shoulders are hunched, or they'll be doing like a energetic exercise like this with the knee twisted in like that. And the way I was taught and the way that I practice and teach is I kind of break down Tai Chi into 4 levels of work. They're not necessarily levels of attainment like belts, but they're levels of work. And the first level is bone level work, which is making sure that your skeleton is aligned. And then there's muscle level work. Are you using an appropriate amount of muscle force in each movement? Really kind of studying the relaxation and the tension balance. Are you working enough where you need to work? Are you relaxed enough where you need to relax? It's largely about the amount of muscle tension in the movements. And then what I call the energy level of the work, or a better term would actually be maybe the nervous system level, or the joint level, because it involves suspending the joints. It involves connecting through your nervous system with your entire body. What's the intent of this exercise? What is the purpose of this? And moving as a whole unit, rather than thinking about alignment, rather than thinking about relaxation, moving as a whole unit. And then the 4th level would be sort of the spirit level of it, where you're just one with what you're doing. You're not so consciously or self-consciously directing the traffic. You're just responding in the moment, like when you're skiing and you're just in the moment, not thinking. That's kind of the spirit level. Usually you notice that level after it's over, because when you notice it, it's gone. At the time, you kind of disappear and you're just one with what you're doing. So that's not really a level that I teach or emphasize much as a teaching. That happens on its own. But the other 3 levels, working on your skeletal alignment, your muscles being soft and relaxed and using the appropriate amount of force, and then your nervous system directing traffic so that you have a holistic, whole-bodied expression. Like, those things to me are really important, and they make any movement healthier and better for you. So when I do Qigong, I consider it to be, all my physical practices have a Qigong element to them. I'm working on those 3 levels and working on expressing them all in the movement. And to me, martial Qigong, or Qigong that has any kind of physical function that you can test, that you can get feedback from, like you're sinking into that leg. You don't want that knee to hurt because you don't want it to be twisted like that. You want that right over your toe. Those kind of things, they end up being healthier. I've seen people do the health Qigong so often, and they have terrible posture. And I just think, a half an hour of posture work would improve the energy of that movement enormously, because I guess I have to say that I think a lot of people that are into health Qigong are New Agers, and they're good folks, but they basically want to get to the top of White Light Mountain without actually climbing it. They don't want to do the work. They want to go to energy. They want to go to flow. They want to go to oneness. They want to go to peace and all that stuff. But the conflicts and the tensions and the problems and the history and all that stuff that causes so much trouble in our lives and in our world, they live in the muscles and bones. They live in your past is kind of embedded in your body. So if you try to skip those levels, if you skip the bone level work and forget about posture, or if you skip the muscle level work and forget about really studying how much tension you're using and where in the muscles, and just focus on energy, well, you're going to end up with muscle and bone problems. You're going to end up with joint and ligament trouble. You're going to end up with strained muscles or tendons because you're not attending to the muscle work. The bone level work and the muscle level work is kind of being in the trenches. It's a little dirtier. It's a little messier. It takes longer. It's harder. You really have to work at that stuff, and it's not always comfortable, and it's not always easy. So I think a lot of people want to just skip that over and go off to the health thing. Not that the actual health exercise is bad or injurious, it's the way that they're doing it. So I think if you have a martial component to your Qigong, if instead of just working and moving energy around, you're actually doing something with a physical function, a martial function, or even a physical function like just expanding and shrinking, just even that, it gives you a sense of a physical template that you have to adapt to. It keeps it real in a sense, because when you sink, your knees shouldn't hurt. The work should be going into your thighs, not into your knees, right? So this is why I prefer martial or functional Qigong. Even if it's just working on how you throw a ball, it's got a physical function, and you can study the breathing and the balance and the alignment and the proper use of muscles and all that stuff while just throwing a tennis ball. Just that alone, I think, is healthier than doing some cosmic visualization if you're ignoring your body. Obviously, if you can do it all, lovely. But I'm really recommending, I guess, don't overlook your bones, don't overlook your muscles, don't overlook your joints and your physical body when you're doing these things, because they will tear down that woo-woo energetic practice. If you don't pay attention to them, those things will tear that down and force you to pay attention to them in the form of injury and pain, which is so avoidable. So whatever your practice, if you happen to be somebody who does not like martial arts at all and is doing pure health Qigong, maybe find a martial artist or someone who does gymnastics or weightlifting or cross-training or something like that, and have them watch your practice, especially if you're running into trouble, and ask them, do you see anything I'm doing that would just be physically not good for me to do? That might really help, because I don't want to tell people don't do that kind of practice at all, but do it better, do it smart, do it with alignment, do it with the proper use of your muscles, and you'll get more out of it. So thanks for watching, I appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of thing. Do a lot of music videos, a lot of Tai Chi videos, nature videos, stuff like that. And you can always visit GeneBurnett.com if you're interested in more information about me and what I do. Thanks again for watching.